Joe, I'm so sorry. I've just heard what happened with Connors there. I really just wanted to come and check that you're okay. I can't actually believe that has happened.
Jen, I've never faced embarrassment personally and professionally like this in my entire life. The physical pain that I'm going through right now is one thing, but to think about what's just happened and the opportunity that's been stolen from me after everything that I've worked for, every hour that I've put into going after these opportunities, all the work that I've put in, it was thrown away. I thought my career was over. I was on that, man. I didn't even have a clue where I was. And now Joseph Connors is the man. He's the man in WCPW. And me, I'm cast aside. And all the laughs and the jokes, people have seen that side of me, but they haven't seen the seconds and the minutes and the hours that I have put in my short time in this business to be somebody. And he tried to end my career right there. I'm sorry, Jen, I have nothing else to say here right now.
Tonight on Loaded, 15 men compete for the opportunity to face the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle at Refuse to Lose on October 6th. That's coming up, but before that, we're going to be joined by the new WCPW World Champion, Dave Bradshaw, here alongside former British Heavyweight Champion Alex Shane. And Alex, Joseph Connors has some explaining to do.
Well, Dave, pro wrestling is all about grabbing attention, getting the stage and making a statement. And no statement has had more impact, more clarity and grabbed more attention than the statement made by that man at the end of Stacked, because Joe Hendry found out firsthand what Joseph Connors, the real Joseph Connors, is all about, and that's why he's the new WCPW Heavyweight Champion.
Hendry, as we've just seen, very, very upset. So are many of our WCPW fans. And that's before we even get started talking about Adam Blompier, who's lost his meal ticket. Big Damo, no longer the world champion. Let's see if Joseph Connors is going to address Hendry, Damo, and the rest of the WCPW locker room in his first comments as world champion.
And you can feel the tension building in this room already.
Connors soaking in this mixed reception from the fans.
You know what they say. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Joe Hendry found out at Stacked just how close his ultimate enemy really was. But you know, I should be really thanking you, Joe Hendry, because you pushed and you prodded, and you pushed, and you prodded, and you made a fool out of Joseph Connors one too many times.
I don't know if that's true.
And I'm here to tell you and Joe Hendry that Joseph Connors is no longer a fool. Joseph Connors is the What Culture Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
Damn straight. And you've got to believe somewhere Joe Hendry is in the back. Very, very unhappy about that. And listen to that, it's a chant of "You deserve it." There's a few fans here already on the side of Connors.
You're right. I do deserve it. Because I'm the one who's ultimately had to look in the mirror when I've had to watch joke after joke being made at my expense against an athlete who is not on my level. And I'm talking about your local hero, Joe Hendry.
These fans not agreeing with our world champion. A lot of Joe Hendry supporters in Newcastle tonight.
That may be true, but I'm the man who stands on top of the what culture mountain right now. And I've come out here for one reason. It may be cliche when it comes to wrestling, but I am giving any member of the What Culture Pro Wrestling roster the opportunity of a lifetime.
What? What's this?
Whoever it may be, come out here, because it's time for Joseph Connors to show every single one of you that I do deserve to be your heavyweight champion.
Wow, is that an open challenge by Joe Connors?
Yeah, it sounded like it. Who's going to answer the call? Oh my God, that's the music of El Ligero, the Mexican sensation. Is he going to challenge the new WCPW World Champion?
Introducing his opponent, weighing in at 175 pounds, from Los Santos, Mexico, the Mexican sensation, El Ligero.
Well, Connors is going to go and meet El Ligero on the ramp. This one is already kicking off. Ligero's forearms to the face of our new champion. This one hasn't even got into the ring yet.
And what a first challenger for Joe Connors, because El Ligero is a man that has not only taken the British wrestling scene by storm over the last decade, Dave, but he is currently undefeated in What Culture Pro Wrestling.
At matches against the likes of Jay Lethal, Martin Kirby, most recently at Stacked winning a triple threat match against EC3 and Pete Dunne. El Ligero in a fine vein of form as Connors brings a steel chair out, and Ligero looking to fight desperately to get that out of the champion's hands.
And we kick things off with a bang, but you mentioned it at the top of the hour. You know what we've got coming up before the end of this episode of Loaded? The first ever Kurt Angle Invitational Rumble, and El Ligero is scheduled to be in the running to take on Kurt Angle, but he may be walking into that as the new WCPW champion.
Ligero has Connors positioned on a chair. Connors goes to the clothesline. Ligero ducks, and Ligero going to drop Connors onto that chair. This one still hasn't made it as far as the ring. When it does so, we think the WCPW World title's on the line here, isn't it?
Well, that was an uncomfortable landing there by Connors. And listen, give Connors all the credit in the world, because he was a man that, thanks to the, often entertaining shenanigans of Joe Hendry, was overlooked. But he has made a clear statement in beating Hendry and getting that title in that four-way, and an even bigger statement in coming straight out here in his first episode of Loaded as champion and setting the stage for an open challenge. I mean, what clearer statement is there than that of being a fighting champion?
Look, it's no secret that Joe Hendry is a showman, and sometimes that comes at the expense of his partners getting any of the limelight, but yeah, Hendry ultimately is a good guy, and when it came to it, he had Joseph Connors back. Connors betrayed Hendry. It was not the other way round. What's Ligero doing here? El Ligero into the audience where Connors is. Connors crotching El Ligero across that crowd barrier.
Will there be no more little mini masked Mexican babies after that one? That was crotch first on steel. And it looks like Connors isn't done. What's he? Whoa.
Connors has Ligero picked up. I think he's maybe planning on dropping him on those chairs. Ligero knows that, and the Mexican sensation escaping at the last possible moment. Oh, but no, he doesn't, because finally Connors gets his wish, and El Ligero goes flying into a pile of chairs.
And now, Dave, we're going to see the Joseph Connors that I believe was festering and forming ever since the beginning of WCPW, because he stood side by side with Joe Hendry, and Joe Hendry used every opportunity to use Connors as a stepping stone to get himself over. Songs, dances, all of those shenanigans I mentioned earlier, and how frustrated must that have made Connors? I'll tell you how frustrated, Dave. You're seeing it now at the expense of the Mexican sensation.
You know that's not true. I just spoke about that a minute ago. Joe Hendry, for all of his bravado, ultimately was a good tag partner to Joseph Connors. They supported each other against Prospect, and then Connors, when it suited him, just turned his back on Hendry. It's unforgivable. Go on, admit it.
All I'm going to say is it used to be, and Joseph Connors, but now we're talking WCPW champion Joseph Connors and Joe Hendry, the man that has very quickly been forgotten in this company. It's a master strategy.
Well, I haven't forgotten him. I don't think any of these fans have forgotten Hendry either.
Who's to say Connors hadn't planned this all along?
Well, that's one of the questions now. Was this throughout a case of Connors using Hendry for his own long-term gain? El Ligero! Oh God! El Ligero! Absolutely fearless as he takes out the champion, and perhaps Joseph Connors' title reign is going to be the shortest reign imaginable.
Somersault senton to the outside on the concrete floor here in the O2 in Newcastle, and this crowd is electric as we kick off loaded, and Joe Connors is in a bad way early.
What a way to start the WCPW World title that Connors only recently won at Stacked is already in jeopardy on our first match on this week's Loaded. Ligero lining him up. Connors in all kinds of trouble. Ligero a step ahead at every turn. Off the top, big splash.
Mexican way splash, Dave. Breath down. Oh, just a two.
Half a second away from a new champion, as El Ligero seeks to continue the winning streak that he has built up here in WCPW. Ligero feeding off the energy of this crowd in Newcastle upon Tyne.
C4L attempt Davies got, and Connors up on the shoulders. Look at this. Oh, guillotines him.
Connors charges Ligero, crucifix pin by Ligero. Both shoulders are down, but Connors rolls out of it. Here comes Ligero again. Connors gets the boot up, double foot stomp.
And what a double foot stomp. You know, the problem now for Connors is, being a professional wrestler myself for so long, you know, as much as there is impact and wear and tear taking moves on the inside of that ring, because remember, underneath that canvas is wood and steel, there is nothing quite like taking a slam or a senton dive on a concrete floor, and both of these men have inflicted early severe punishment in the first 5 minutes of this one.
Connors is going to pick up El Ligero into maybe a power bomb. Ligero escapes. El Ligero going for a backslide. Another pin attempt, but Connors has got him.
Double underhook, sit down, power bomb.
Armbar. El Ligero's in the middle of the ring. El Ligero may have to tap.
Cross arm breaker, Dave, and Ligero, he needs to try and interlock those fingers. But
Ligero goes for the pin. Ligero goes for the pin, and Connors again only just gets out.
Oh, ace crusher, centre of the ring.
Make the cover, Liggs. Make the cover. You could be the new champion.
And I said it just moments ago, the impact of landing on that concrete floor took a toll on both men, and I believe it was that somersault dive that we saw by Ligero. He jumped straight back up, but as the adrenaline fades, the pain kicks in, and that's why the Mexican sensation is so slow to make that pin.
But it is El Ligero who is the first to his feet. The WCPW World title on the line. And a slap across the face of our new world champion, who replies in kind.
And here's a question for you. Think about this. If Ligero leaves this match as the new WCPW champion and enters into that Kurt Angle Invitational, if he wins that, it would be Ligero versus Kurt Angle for the WCPW title.
And how much would the Olympic hero love that opportunity? It's all ifs and buts at the moment. This one still on a knife edge between Connors and Ligero. Speaking of knife edge chop there from the champion. Back and forth. Game of one-upmanship as these two exchange strikes. And Connors, overhead slam.
Stuck a head and arm Tazplex made famous by Taz in ECW. Connors charges in that corner. Over the top, and look at the agility of this guy. Over the top into a DDT, spikes him on his head.
El Ligero may be out. Not quite.
Wow.
But he is certainly hurting. El Ligero, the challenger. What's that? What's that from Connors? What are you doing?
Ref didn't see it.
Of course he didn't see it. He had his back turned and Connors just attacked the referee. What on earth? A psychotic look in the eyes of our champion.
But Dave, as we've learned, there's a method to this man's madness, and right now it's a method that looks like it's going to be clad in steel and leather. It's got that belt in hand.
Connors looking to clock El Ligero with the championship belt. Connors charges El Ligero, gets out of the way, and El Ligero does to Connors what Connors would have done unto him.
Oh, he's going back up to that top rope. Is he gonna, if he hears that Mexican way splash for a second time? Dave, I saw him beat British wrestling high-flying legend Jody Fleisch with that move. And if that, he's...
Ref's back, ref's back, new champion, oh no! Oh my God, that was close. Goodness, that was close.
Well, as a wise, famous commentator once said, Dave Bradshaw, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and that was at least one exploded hand grenade away from a new WCPW champion. Talk about kicking things off with a bang, that was a hand grenade reference.
Very clever. You're on fine form.
There was a whole one about a pin in there as well, but it's just too complicated this early on.
Oh, C4L! C4L! Connors catches him!
Oh, Dave, he said, you know what that is?
Oh, no! Oh, righteous kill! Righteous kill by Connors! And he's got the leg hooked! Joseph Connors retains the WCPW World Championship!
The winner of the match, and still WCPW champion, Joseph Connors!
El Ligero's winning streak here in WCPW is no more, and more to the point, Joseph Connors' streak as the WCPW World Champion is off to an extremely impressive start.
Well, Dave, you questioned it. You questioned Joseph Connors and his reasoning for that open challenge, but like I said at the very start, professional wrestling is about making a statement, and what statement could be clearer than the one we just saw? Because not only has Connors defeated an undefeated WCPW star, but he has defended that title in glorious, and I do mean glorious fashion. Joe Hendry, if I was you, I'd be curling up in a ball and crying my eyes out.
Well, he survives with the title tonight, but Joseph Connors, now he's the world champion, has an enormous target on his back. Not just Joe Hendry, but every single wrestler backstage here tonight in Newcastle is gunning for Joseph Connors.